Welcome to today's training. Today, I'm going to talk about what I call contest hacking. It's all about generating a database of interested prospects over a 14-day period. And there's two main ways that I personally run contests. And I'm going to share both those ways with you in this training today. And you can combine the two together. So the first way is, of course, using Facebook. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Facebook. I run a lot of ads on Facebook, and I like personally running a Facebook ad for a contest because it generally works really, really well. It gets me really cheap opt-ins that I'm then able to fish out of for business. And I'll show you exactly how I do that here in just a minute. Also, what I'm going to share with you is how to do a joint venture contest. So this is where we get other local businesses to participate with us in our contest. And we all get to benefit from the combined effort of each other. So you can combine those two ideas. You can have a joint venture contest and run Facebook ads to it at the same time. There's no reason why you can't do that. It's just usually we do one or the other, mainly because when we're running Facebook ads, that's costing me money. Unless the other joint venture partners are throwing in money themselves, then, I'm either spending all the money on Facebook and they're not. So that's kind of like, why are they going to then benefit from that? But that could be your way of contributing to the contest. Hey, I'm going to put this thing on. I'm going to be running Facebook ads. I need something from you to give away. And I'll talk about that here in a second and explain what I mean by that. Now, here's the main point. The point of doing a contest is to get a database of people that you can market to. It's not to sell them in the contest. It is literally to create a database over 14 days. If you've already got a database, this can enhance it. This can revive it. If you don't have a database, this is going to give you one really, really quick, one that you can start marketing to immediately. Now, it's your responsibility to comply with all local, state, and federal laws governing contests, giveaways, and/or promotions. Now, interestingly enough, I was talking with an agent in Arizona, and this agent was sure that contests were illegal in Arizona for real estate. And he goes, well, they're games of chance. That's what they're called, and that's not legal for us to participate in. I don't know the rules in Arizona. What I can tell you, though, is that a game of chance, according to the federal definition, is not a contest. A raffle would be a game of chance. Anything where someone has to pay money to enter the contest, where they may or may not win, that is a game of chance, according to the federal definition. Now, maybe in Arizona it's different. I don't know. It's your responsibility to know your rules, your laws for where you do business in. So I'm just going to share with you what I know, and I'm going to share with you what I do, but it's always your responsibility to do everything according to the laws that you are under. So let's talk about running a Facebook ad to a contest. Some things that you're going to need. First thing you're going to need is something to give away, obviously. We'll talk about that more here in just a second. You're going to also need contest rules, and you're going to need a lead generation ad on Facebook. That's really the three things that you need. Now, let's look at something to give away. When you need something to give away, here are some different ideas. Now, in normal times, non-COVID times, there are often school and church carnivals, activities like that. I love partnering with those. So think about it like this. Like my son's school is literally behind our house. And his school, they do a carnival every year. And it's one of the ways that they raise money. So I think you can get an unlimited band, like a wristband, to do all of the carnival events, the rides, all that stuff for like $20, I think is what it is. You could, if you were going to, run this as a contest, you could go to the school and say, hey, look, I'm Pete Mitchell with Pete Mitchell Realty. I know you guys have this carnival coming up. I would like to buy 5 of those unlimited bands. And I'm going to run a contest to give them away to people in the neighborhood. In fact, you could also participate in this, and you could tell people that there's this contest going on. And I'll set up a web page, and people can go to the web page and enter it. And I'll even let you know who wins. And that becomes a great way to get to know the people in the community, because everybody likes free stuff. So that's one thing that you could do. But let's say you're not doing a joint venture with the school in that scenario. You could just buy those tickets, and you could run a Facebook ad on Facebook, basically telling people in the community, hey, I've just bought 5 unlimited bands for this the Hopkinson School Carnival. If you'd like to win one of them, all you got to do is enter right here. And we're going to generate people who want to win that particular contest. Other things that you could do, tickets to local sporting events. Now, obviously, during COVID, there's very few of those. I really like doing that, though, in regular years with minor league baseball teams. One, because they're really cheap. And two, it's kind of different. I mean, it's not like I'm winning tickets to see the Giants or the A's or the Angels or the Dodgers. You know, I'm winning tickets for, I actually don't even know any local minor league teams. But, you know, the idea is, oh, wow, that's kind of cool. That's, you know, that's the local team. You can do the same thing with college teams, with high school teams. A lot of those still charge money to get in, and people will pay money to win tickets to that. So you could do it for that as well. There's also local social events during, again, normal years. And then, of course, there are just basic home items, things that people would be interested in. We had one agent who ran a contest for it was one of those bouncers that, like, it was a water slide version, right? So it had somehow, you know, they hook up a hose to it, right? And water comes down the front, and then it has a splashdown pool. I mean, that was kind of a cool little thing because it was really hot in the summer. People kind of wanted that. And it's like, hey, if someone else wants to pay for it, that's really cool. And it doesn't really matter that it's COVID time right now, because it could just be for their family. Now, of course, if their family wants to invite other people over, no one really cares. That's entirely up to them. But the idea here is you got to have something that you're going to give away, something that people would actually be interested in. Now, we need to have contest rules. This is really, really important because we got to keep ourselves on the right side of the law. The easy way to get contest rules is simply to Google free contest rules template. So here's what I do. I just literally Google it. This is what it looked like. And you can see one of the purple ones right there. I just wanted to see some of the stuff. The second one, sweepstakes rules, template with sample, Rocket Lawyer. I've bought a lot of different templates from Rocket Lawyer. I want to say it's like $30, something like that. I mean, it's not really expensive if you want to pay for it. That's obviously not a free one. But if you keep going down, contest rules template, the very last one on the sheet there, that was a free one. And to be honest with you, the free one's just fine. I mean, I'm not giving you legal advice here, but, you know, do what you want to do. You can either pay a lawyer or use the free contest rules template. It's entirely up to you. So again, we've got the free contest rules template. Now you got to keep the value believable. If you're offering something that's like $5,000, people are going to be like, I don't really know that I believe this. If you're offering the $20 wristbands, well, I believe it. You know, I might actually win a $20 wristband. That's kind of cool. If it's the water slide bouncer, I can't remember what my wife pays for that because my son's birthday is coming up and she's rented it before and she's going to rent it again. But let's say it's a couple $100. That's not really that unbelievable. I like to tell people when we're doing a joint venture contest, we want to keep that price in between $350 and like $750 on the high end, because that's a believable number. People think they have a chance of winning that. If you're giving away something where the value is like, you know, again, $5,000, $10,000, people don't necessarily believe that they're going to win it. Now, you also need to know what's required in your states. There are at least 2 states that I know of. New York, I believe, is one of them, and I don't remember the other one, where if you have prizes over $5,000, you've got to be bonded and registered. So again, keep it lower, and you don't need to worry about that. We also need to know Facebook's rules for contests. So that's the link right there, facebook.com/policies/pages, groups, events. This is what it looks like. And when we go over here to required contest or required content, promotions on Facebook must include the following: a complete release of Facebook by each entry or participant, and an acknowledgement that the promotion is in no way sponsored, endorsed, or administrated or associated with Facebook. Proportions may be administrated on pages, groups, events, or within apps on Facebook. Personal timelines and friend connections must not be used to administer promotions, meaning if you'd like to win this contest, you must share it, comment on it, and like it. You can't do that. We're literally going to run a lead generation ad. If you don't remember how that works, go back and watch session number 2. That's all about lead generation ads on Facebook. And we're going to be giving away something that has nothing to do with Facebook, and we're going to make it clear in our ad itself, hey, this is not sponsored by Facebook and has nothing to do with Facebook at all. So again, what you need a lead generation ad on Facebook. And when we're doing this, you got to ask yourself, okay, what Facebook page will you be using as the sponsor? You can use your real estate page if you have one. Do you have a local events page? That's one of the things that I've talked about many times. I've got a page called Long Beach Deals and Events. I like running contests under that because it's like, oh, this is cool. This is from Long Beach Deals and Events. Like, people will look at that and go, okay, this is believable. This is something that, someone's doing here in Long Beach. You need to create the local lead generation form. Again, go back and watch session number 2 to learn how to do that. And then you need to create the ad for the form. This is where we're going to invite people to enter the contest. And then we're going to run the ad. Now, here's the key. When we're writing the ad, we need to tell them why we're running the contest. Hi, this is Pete Mitchell with Pete Mitchell Realty. And the reason that I'm running this contest is because, and then we got to tell them what's our reason. I've got a marketing budget and I'm trying to get to know more people in the community. And instead of spending a bunch of money on postcards that are going to reach a bunch of people who aren't actually interested in selling their home, I thought I'd just run a contest and let everyone get introduced to me that way. Okay, now that's believable. Oh, okay, well, the reason why Pete's running this is just to get to know people in the community. Well, that's cool. I'll go ahead and enter the contest. I'd like to get to know you, Pete, especially if I win, right? So we got to give them a reason as to why we're running the contest. Now, when someone enters the contest, there's a couple of things that you want to do. And it doesn't really matter which way you do it, but you need to immediately let that person know that they entered the contest. So if they're doing a lead generation ad, if that's how you're doing it on Facebook, and they're filling out the form, we want to have an automated text message or email or both go out to everyone that enters. And it can be as simple as just something that says, thank you for entering our contest to win the free bouncer. This event is being sponsored by Pete Mitchell with Pete Mitchell Realty. On August 30th, we will send you a text to let you know if you won. Or on August 30th, we'll send you an email to let you know if you won, right? We just need to basically acknowledge them, let them know that they've entered the contest. And I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I want them to start seeing my name. So that way when I hit them up afterwards, it's not like, well, who is this person? I don't recognize this name, Pete Mitchell. The other reason that I'm doing this is when that notification goes out of who won, I want them to read that message. I don't want it to be the first time they're exposed to me. So again, it doesn't matter if you send that as a text message or you send it as an email. You need to send them a message. Now, I personally like to use both. And the easiest way to do that is you connect the Facebook lead form using Zapier to your texting service or your CRM, your client relationship management software, however you send out emails. Again, all of that is in session 2 of the Forward Momentum course on running lead generation ads. So literally someone enters their information right there on Facebook in the lead generation ad, and then boom, they immediately get a text message or they get an email or they get both. I like to send them both. That's how we communicate with them and just let them know who you are, so that way when you hit them up later, they know who it's coming from. So we're going to run our Facebook lead generation ad with a great graphic. usually of whatever the prize is, for at least 14 days. So personally, I like to spend $10 a day for 14 days for a total of a whopping $140. That's how I run the promotion. It's very, very simple. When your contest is completed, you need to pick a winner and you need to notify them. Send them a text or an email to the list that you just generated. So you're going to send it to the person who won, and you're going to send it to the entire list. And you're going to tell the entire list, hey, Bob Jones from Rossmore won our contest for the free bouncer. Thanks for entering. And then I will usually include, if it's an email, on that same message. If it's a text message, I'll send an additional text message. And it'll say, on a side note, as mentioned before, this contest was sponsored by me, Pete Mitchell from Pete Mitchell Realty. I just finished putting together a new tip sheet called The 5 Biggest Mistakes People Make When Buying Their First Home and How to Avoid Them. If you'd like a copy, reply to this. Again, is it a text or an email? And I'll send it over to you right away, right? Because I'm going to start fishing out of this new list that I've just created. Now, when they reply, ask for their mailing address. See if you can start a conversation with them. So if it's an email and they say, hey, I'd like the tip sheet, then I'll basically just email them back and go, great, can you tell me what your address is? And I'll stick this in the mail to you right away. Sometimes they'll say, well, do you have a PDF version? Great, here's the PDF version. If it's a text message, I'll do the exact same thing. Or if it's a text message and they say, yes, I'd like the tip sheet. Well, I have their phone number, right? Because they just texted me. So I could just call them and say, hey, this is Pete Mitchell. I know you just asked for that tip sheet. I want to get it over to you right away. Just thought it'd be quicker for me to call you and get your mailing address. And we can start the conversation with them. Well, tell me a little bit about your situation so I can make sure I put everything in with this tip sheet that I should be sticking in with it when I send it over to you. All right, so we're just going to start that conversation with them. Or as I like to call it, a lesser option is in your text or your email. Just put, great, I'd love to put it in the mail to you, Bob. What's your mailing address? So, I mean, that's an easier way to do it than actually calling them. I personally want to start calling them right away because I want to create that relationship with them. So again, now that's our first initial contact, but we've just generated a list of people. Some of them are going to want the tip sheet. Most of them aren't. We've got to start following up with everyone. So 7 to 14 days later, we're going to start them on our weekly email list. So the emails that you're sending out every week to your database, because I know that's what you're doing, you want to start sending it out to everyone who just entered your contest. Start sending them your monthly print newsletter. We give this to you in the Forward Momentum course. You want to start sending that out to them every month. So you might need to actually get their mailing address, and you could always just text them or email them, say, hey, I've got a monthly newsletter I'd like to send out to you. What's your mailing address? And everyone who responds back to you, put them on that list and start sending it to them. It's not going to be everybody. It's never going to be everybody. And then we're going to use the instant client goldmine strategy. Remember that from a few weeks back? It's where we send them an email, a text message, and a sly voicemail. And we send it out to them every week, basically. Here's an example of the email. Hi, Bob. Pete Mitchell here with Pete Mitchell Real Estate. I sponsor the contest for the free bouncer. I'm hoping you can help. We have a family that's qualified and looking for a home in your area. We couldn't find a fit with what's available on the market. If you or someone you know is thinking about moving, would you please reply to this email and let me know? We might be able to sell the home without listing it publicly. Cheers, Pete Mitchell. P.S. They're flexible on the move-in time frame. Thanks. Right? It's the basic I have a buyer template. That's what we're going to send to them as an email. We're going to see what happens. Then the next week, for everybody who doesn't reply, we send them a text message. Hi, Bob. Pete Mitchell here. I'm hoping you can help. We have a family that's qualified and looking for a home in your area. We couldn't find a fit with what's on the market right now. If our friend or neighbor has mentioned that they're thinking about moving, please text me back. We might be able to sell the home without listing it publicly. Cheers. So again, it's very soft, very, hey, are you thinking about, no, it's you or someone you know is thinking about moving. Let me know. Might be able to sell this home for them. And then, of course, the week after that, we're going to send them a sly voicemail. Yes, hello, Pete Mitchell here with Pete Mitchell Realty. I was a sponsor of the Bouncer giveaway on Facebook. I've been trying to reach you the past couple of weeks. If you or someone you know locally is thinking of selling their home, I'm working with a family right now that's qualified and ready to buy. We might be able to sell the home without listing it publicly. Give me a ring back at this phone number if you know of someone looking to sell. Thanks so much. So again, we're just reaching out to people who just entered our contest. That's if all we're doing is running it on Facebook. But let's talk about joint ventures. If you're going to do a joint venture contest, few things you're going to need. First of all, something to give away, contest rules, and 3 to 5 local vendors that share your target market. So what do I mean by that? 3 to 5 local vendors that share your target market. Well, if I were going after Rossmore, we've got this great little shopping center by us. We've got a chiropractor in there. We've got a couple of different barbers. We've got a nail salon. I would start reaching them. Why? Because they serve the people in the community that I serve. We're serving the exact same people. And they also have very easy stuff that they can give away. So we're going to approach our potential joint venture partners with this offer. Hello, Bob. This is Pete with Pete Mitchell Realty. I saw you were advertising in the newspaper. I saw you were advertising on this postcard and wanted to reach out to you and let you know we're doing a free giveaway in the next 2 weeks and thought you'd make a great fit for the giveaway. The best part, when you donate, you'll receive all the names and email addresses we collect during the giveaway. Would you like to donate? So here's the key. Find local vendors who are currently spending money on marketing. They already know they have to spend money to acquire a client. If you're like, well, I know all these business owners, but they don't do any marketing, very hard to get anything out of them. Mainly because it's not the right frame of mind for them. So that's why I love my junk mail. When I get junk mail, man, to me, that is like happy day, because those are all people who are willing to spend money to acquire a client in my neighborhood. Those are people I want to do joint ventures with. Those are people that I want to work with. They already get it. They have to spend money. So look at your junk mail, look at newspapers, look at local magazines, look at anything that people are doing advertising-wise in the community that you serve. Those are going to be great joint venture partners. Now you're going to need something to give away. So again, look for community-centric products. For you to give away something, look for, again, the churches, the carnivals, tickets to local sporting events, tickets to local social events, home items, right? Because you still need to give something away yourself. But what's also going to happen is you need the joint venture partners to give away something. So they need to have, a gift certificate if they're a nail salon or a hair salon or a chiropractor. Usually that's good for, the basic service. It doesn't have to be anything too fancy. And again, you want this prize package to be in the $350 to $750 range. Because if it's too much more than that, people aren't going to believe it. They're not going to think that it's legit, that they could actually win it. Now, another thing that you're going to need to create a contest entry landing page, right? Because we don't have the Facebook lead generation ad, or we don't need a landing page. Facebook does all of that for us. We're going to actually send people to a website. So this is an example for a free family photo shoot. So that could be one of the things that you give away. And you can see here, we had it sponsored by DeGroat Real Estate, the Printing Train, Guaranteed Rate was a mortgage lender. And then, of course, I have a little area on the bottom, become a sponsor, because I figure, hey, other people in the community who have businesses might see this, might go to this landing page, and maybe they'd like to enter my next contest. I mean, what says I can only do one contest? Can't I just keep doing contests over and over and over and over and over again and get more and more people from the community in my funnel? Of course. So again, you're going to need contest rules. So without going into it again, you just need to Google free contest rules. You're going to need to add those rules to your landing page. Make sure you disclose that all the sponsors will be given their info. This is really important with privacy laws. People are entering a contest, so your rules need to say your information is going to be shared with all of our sponsors. And then you're going to provide your sponsors, your joint venture partners, with 2 emails to send out. One on the first day of the contest and one on the day before the contest ends. So here's kind of an important thing. You do want businesses that are advertising, but you also want businesses that have a database, because you can basically go to them and say, hey, I want you to tell your people, your database, about this. Now, I'm going to be telling this to my database, and I got Joe Blow Chiropractic over here, and I've got Susie's Hair Salon over there. They're going to be sending it out to their databases as well. Everyone who enters the contest, you're going to get the name and email and phone number of those people, and that way you can follow up with them any way that you'd like. But this is a way that we all get to benefit each other. We're sharing each other's relationship capital. That's a really important piece here. If someone won't tell their database about the contest, do not let them in your contest. So that means you need to follow up with everybody. The day they're supposed to send it, you need to follow up with them. Bob, did you send out your email today? Well, let me check with Susie in the office over here. Great, check with Susie. I'll wait on the line. Oh, Susie's going to send it out in the next 5 minutes. Great. You've got to stay on them. People are lazy by nature, and they don't see the importance of this yet. So here's a sample email. So the subject line, who else wants to win a free, and then whatever it is that each vendor is giving away, that's what needs to be there. So you actually fill this out for them. Who else wants to win a free chiropractic session? Who else wants to win a free month of chiropractic? Who else wants to win a free haircut? Who else wants to win a free nail? I actually have no idea what you ladies call it when you get nails done. I have no idea. Whatever, right? So whatever that vendor is given away, that's what needs to be in the subject line. If they have the ability, they don't all have the ability to actually personalize the emails, it would go like this. Hi there, Susie. Pete Mitchell here. Of course, it would be their name. If you'd like to win, or if you'd like an opportunity to get a free month of chiropractic, then you're going to want to read this email right away. In an effort to bring more value to my clients like you, I've partnered with several other local businesses to put on a giveaway over the next 2 weeks. There's no cost to enter, no obligation to buy anything. All you have to do for a chance to win is to enter by going to, and then you give them the landing page that you set up. The contest ends on the 30th of August. One lucky winner will receive the following. From me, a free month of chiropractic. From Bob, a free haircut. From Susie, right? And so you're going to list out everybody who's one of the vendors and what they're going to win for free. All you have to do for a chance to win is to enter by going to, and then again, the same landing page. Again, the contest ends on whatever date. Enter now. Warmly, Pete Mitchell. P.S. All the contest rules are on the website. This is void where prohibited. Right? We're putting that in there because we need to be a little bit compliant here. We need to let people know, hey, if it's illegal here, then it's void. That keeps us safe. So that's what we send out for the first email. That's going to go out to your database. That's going to go out to each of your joint venture partners. And again, follow up with them. Make sure that they sent that out. Then we're going to send out sample email number 2. Sample email number 2 is going to go out basically the day before the contest ends. Subject line, contest ends tomorrow, enter now. Hi, Bob. A couple of weeks ago, I sent you an email about a contest we're running where you have a chance to win some great stuff from local vendors. The contest ends tomorrow, and if you haven't already entered, I'm sending you a link so you can get registered. All you have to do for a chance to win is to enter by going to, and then your landing page right there. Here's the original email that I sent. Then I put a couple of little stars right there, and then literally just copy the email from the one before. And that's what you send out. And again, follow up with the vendors. Make sure that that went out. So again, what you're going to need, create an automated text or email that goes out to everyone who enters. So when they enter on the landing page, you want to acknowledge it. Again, thank you for entering our contest to win the local bundle. This event is being sponsored by Pete Mitchell of Pete Mitchell Realty and other local vendors. On the 30th, we'll send you a text to let you know if you won, or an email to let you know if you won. You're going to connect your landing page to your CRM or your texting service by using Zapier. Zapier pretty much connects with everybody. Now, when your contest is complete, pick your winner and notify them. Notify the other sponsors. So let them know, hey, by the way, Bob Jones over here won the contest. And provide the sponsors with a list of people who entered. And then, of course, we're going to send a text message to the list that you just generated. Bob Jones from Rossmore won our contest for the free, bundle of local goods. Thanks for entering. Again, if it's a text message, I'm going to send this as a separate message. If it's an email, I'm going to put it as part of it. On a side note, as mentioned before, this contest was sponsored by me, Pete Mitchell from Pete Mitchell Realty. I just finished putting together a new report called The 7 Biggest Mistakes People Make When Selling Their Rossmore Home and How to Avoid Them. If you'd like a copy, reply to this text or this email, and I'll send one over to you right away. And then the same thing as before. When they reply back, let's get their mailing address. Now, again, when your contest is completed, 7 to 14 days later, what do? Start them on the weekly email list. Start sending them your monthly print newsletter. Use the I Have a Buyer email, text message, and Sly voicemail campaign. Again, this is the Instant Client Goldmine strategy. There's a sample email. I don't need to go over that again. The sample text message and the sample Sly voicemail. This is how we can generate a list very quickly. And if we do it with joint venture partners, we already have some relationship capital, right? People are already connected to our joint venture partner who we're basically sharing their relationship. It's a great way for you to get a bunch of people into your database right away and start fishing out of that database. So if you've got any questions on this strategy, go ahead and shoot me an email or join me on the Friday call, and I'll be happy to go over it with you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.